Have you ever poured your heart into a friendship, a relationship, or even a work connection, only to feel like you're being taken for granted? Like no matter how much you give, it's never enough. If that hits home, then listen closely, because what I'm about to share isn't about bad luck or fate. It's about a powerful psychology most people don't understand, and today, you're going to flip the script. Imagine a networking event. One person quietly joins conversations and draws people in, another chases attention but ends up invisible. Which would you rather be? Ask yourself, when was the last time someone truly chased you? Most of us fall into desperation, thinking showing how much we care proves our worth. But overinvesting emotionally actually signals weakness. It's like handing someone a priceless painting and saying, take it whenever. They won't value it because it cost them nothing. The real power. Emotional detachment. It's not being cold, but controlling your feelings and holding your ground. Stop chasing validation, watch how others react when you pull back. That mystery pulls them in. Next, create strategic distance. Always being available makes you predictable. Like rare luxury cars, your time should feel exclusive. Pause before replying, cancel plans without rescheduling. Make your attention a privilege, not a given. Finally, use the illusion of scarcity. When people sense you're slipping away, they start chasing. It's human nature to want what's hard to get, so here's the challenge: value your time, pull back enough for others to miss you, and watch the dynamic flip. Combine Stoicism with a touch of dark psychology, and they'll go from ignoring you to obsessed. Have you ever noticed how people seem to chase what's just out of reach, but ignore what's right in front of them? It's not personal. It's psychological. People don't value what's handed to them. They value what they have to earn. And if you've been bending over backwards for people, always saying yes, always explaining yourself, always available, then you've unknowingly made yourself forgettable. Let's break that down. When you overgive, when you explain too much, when you're constantly trying to prove your worth, you're not building respect. You're leaking power. And the more energy you pour into someone without them having to work for it, the less they value you. Think about luxury. Why do people obsess over limited edition watches or exclusive VIP access? It's not always about quality, it's about scarcity. It's rare. It's not easily accessible. And because of that, it commands attention, desire, and respect. Now imagine applying that same principle to yourself. This is where Stoicism and modern psychology collide. When you stop handing out your time and energy like it's free samples at a grocery store, people start paying attention. You shift the dynamic. You stop chasing. You become the one they're trying to figure out. The one they wonder about. The one they miss. So ask yourself, where are you giving too much? Where are you trying too hard? Because if you want to be respected, admired, even desired, you have to stop being everywhere. You have to stop being so easy to access. Scarcity creates value. And when you master that, everything changes. Let me tell you something that might sting a little: the more emotionally invested you are, the less power you hold. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Have you ever been in a situation where you cared deeply, maybe about a person, an outcome, or even someone's opinion, and the more you cared, the more they seemed to pull away? That's not a coincidence. It's psychology. In any interaction, the person who cares less usually holds the most control. Why? Because emotions are leverage, and when you give yours away too easily, you give away your power. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you should be cold or heartless. I'm saying you should be strategic. This is where the Stoics had it right. Their philosophy wasn't about being numb. It was about mastering your emotions so they don't master you. It's about observing without reacting, especially when someone tries to provoke you, because here's the secret: when you don't react, you create mystery. When you're indifferent, people get confused. They start wondering, why doesn't this bother them? Or did I lose my grip on them? That silence, that lack of reaction, it's louder than any argument you could ever start. It speaks volumes. And most importantly, it keeps you in control. so the next time someone disrespects you, don't chase. Don't explain. Don't explode. Let your silence and indifference do the talking, because the moment you stop overinvesting emotionally, the power shifts back to you. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone truly appreciated your presence? Not because you shouted for attention, but because your absence spoke louder. Here's the brutal truth. People don't value what's always available. The more someone knows you'll be there, ready to reply, ready to agree, ready to give, the less they feel the need to earn you. You become ordinary, predictable, easy, and there's nothing desirable about easy. This is the scarcity principle at work. From luxury brands to exclusive memberships, we crave what we can't easily have. Not because it's better, but because it feels rare. It's psychology. It's human nature. So, if you want to flip the script and make people value your time, your energy, your presence, you have to become scarce. Here's how. Stop responding instantly. Let them wait. Not out of spite, but because you're no longer operating on their timeline. Stop initiating every conversation. Silence creates space. And in that space, they start wondering. Cancel a plan without offering a rain check. Show that your time isn't a given, it's earned. Let your presence become something they look forward to, not something they expect. When you reduce your accessibility, something incredible happens. They lean in. They overthink. They chase. Why? Because they feel you slipping away. And suddenly, you matter more, your time is valuable. Your energy is premium. Don't give it away like it's on clearance. Let people work to reach you. Let them earn your attention, because when your presence becomes a privilege, not a guarantee, you become unforgettable. Have you ever noticed how people suddenly reach out more when you stop responding? That's not luck, it's the power of controlled absence. Today, I'll show you how to use psychological distance to flip the script. Instead of chasing, you become the one they can't stop thinking about. Think about your favorite TV show. When a season ends, you binge watch, then there's a break. That pause. It builds anticipation, right? You start obsessing, reading theories, waiting eagerly. Controlled absence works the same way in relationships and friendships. When you're not always available, people's brains try to fill that gap, and that creates desire. Here's how to do it. Disrupt expectations. If you reply instantly, start waiting a bit longer. If you always text at 9 a.m., try 3 p.m. That little unpredictability makes people wonder, why the change? Did I do something wrong? That curiosity pulls them in. Next, let silence do the heavy lifting. Imagine you regularly message a friend every evening, sharing jokes, updates, everything. Then one night, you don't respond. No excuses, just silence. At first, they'll think you're busy. But soon, that quiet feels heavy. They'll wonder, are they drifting away? That doubt creates obsession. Bonus tip, post engaging content, but don't engage back. Share a stunning photo or story with no caption or replies. People will notice, comment, and when you stay silent, it builds intrigue. You're sending a clear message, I'm living on my terms. If you want in, catch up. This tease triggers a natural desire to reconnect, but don't disappear completely. You want to be missed, not forgotten. If you vanish too long, people move on. Find your balance, reply less, show up less, but when you do, make it count. Make your presence a treat, not background noise. Here's a quick example. A friend used to flood her team with texts daily, work updates, jokes, memes. At first, it was fun, but then it became white noise. So she went silent for 2 days, then sent one sharp message with a fresh idea. Suddenly, everyone was all ears. She was back in control because she wasn't always there. Ask yourself, where are you too predictable? Too available? Where could a little mystery shift the dynamic? Start slowing down your replies, let silence work for you, post selectively. Make your time and attention something people want, not expect. master controlled absence, and you'll go from being taken for granted to being the one they chase. When people sense they might lose access to you, they fight harder to keep the connection, giving you the upper hand. Remember, disappear just enough to be missed, but not so much you're forgotten. That's the art of psychological distance, the secret weapon that changes everything. Let me ask you something real. When was the last time someone truly pursued you, not out of pity, not out of politeness, but because they wanted to earn your time, your energy, your attention? Most people never experience that. Why? Because they've spent their whole lives chasing, pleasing, proving. But today, we flip the script. It's time for you to become the prize. Here's the truth: the person with the least emotional investment usually has the most power in any relationship. It sounds harsh, but it's psychological reality. When you're the one constantly texting, apologizing, initiating, giving, hoping, they sense it. And they don't value it. Because people don't value what they don't have to earn. Now here's how to change the game. Step 1, stop rewarding bad behavior. If someone ghosts you, mocks you, takes you for granted, and you still respond with kindness, with effort, with "it's okay," you're training them to disrespect you. Instead, go silent. Don't chase an explanation. Don't double text. Don't play therapist to someone who doesn't even show up for you. People learn quickly: if their behavior gets them ignored, not comforted, they start shifting. Step 2, introduce unpredictability. Predictable equals boring. And worse, it equals powerless. If you always say yes, if you're always available, you become a routine. Instead, break patterns. Don't always pick up the phone. Don't always text back within seconds. Leave a little mystery. Not in a manipulative way, but in a respect me kind of way. Your energy should be a privilege, not a default setting. Step 3, make them work for your attention. Not with games. With standards. If someone wants access to your time, they need to bring respect, consistency, presence. Set the bar higher, and don't apologize for it. When you raise your standards, low-effort people naturally fall away. And the right ones? They step up. What happens when you start living like this? You stop being the chaser, and you become the challenge. You become the person they can't stop thinking about. Not because you're pretending, but because you've shifted the energy. You've built gravity around you. You're not just available, you're valuable. Look, this isn't about playing hard to get. It's about finally being hard to get, because you know your worth. Because you're done proving, chasing, begging. You're done giving out gold to people who only bring dust. So I'll leave you with this: if you stop chasing, what, or who, might start chasing you? You'll be surprised how quickly the world shifts when you stop trying to earn love. And start expecting respect. That's when you go from background noise to center stage. From overlooked to unforgettable. Why are we so obsessed with things just out of reach? Think about it. Celebrities we'll never meet. Luxury goods we can't afford. Exclusive clubs we're not invited to. It's not just about desire, it's about distance. The closer we get to something we can't quite have, the more we crave it. And this, right here, is the secret to becoming unforgettable. You must become desirable, but not fully attainable. Most people make themselves too available. They're always there. Always answering. Always giving. And the result? They're taken for granted. But if you learn to pull back, just slightly, something interesting happens. You create tension. And tension is addictive. The brain wants to resolve it. People start thinking about you more, wondering what you're doing, what you're thinking, who you're with. It's the same strategy luxury brands use. You don't see Rolex on clearance. You don't see Rolls-Royce offering discounts. Why? Because they understand the psychology of value. They stay high status by refusing to lower their worth for convenience. And neither should you. Here's how you make that work in your life. First, be present, but not predictable. Don't give all your time, energy, and access. Let people feel your presence. And then miss it. Second, use social proof. Show that other people want your time and attention. Post moments where you're respected, celebrated, valued. When people see others desiring you, they start wondering what they're missing. Third, control the reward system. Instead of giving constant attention, make it unpredictable. Sometimes you respond quickly, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you give deep connection, sometimes you stay distant. Why? Because variable reward is the most powerful form of conditioning. It's the same psychological mechanism behind addiction. And finally, remember this: don't put yourself on sale to gain someone's affection. Don't lower your standards just to get attention. When you hold your value, especially in a world where everyone is trying to be liked, you stand out. You become rare. And people chase what's rare, so if you've ever felt like you're being overlooked, remember, it's not because you're not enough. It's because you've been too available, too easy to access. The moment you become the unavailable prize, the one they can almost touch, but not fully grasp, that's when the obsession begins. Have you ever met someone who just seems magnetic, but you can't quite figure out why? That magnetic pull comes from one secret: mystery. In a world where everyone overshares, the person who reveals just enough to keep others guessing holds a silent weapon. Today, we'll unlock how to use mystery to become unforgettable. Ask yourself, when was the last time you felt genuinely curious about someone? Those people who leave you wondering, what are they up to? What's next? That curiosity is the root of obsession. When you can't fully understand someone, your brain fills in the gaps, trying to close the story, and that keeps you hooked. So, how to use this? First, reveal less. Share glimpses, not the full story. Post a photo at an art gallery with no caption. Send a text: had one of the most fascinating experiences today. Then go silent. Watch how questions flood in: where were you? What happened? That's curiosity in action. Second, be unpredictable. Always answering instantly kills mystery. Mix it up. Sometimes reply right away, other times wait hours or a day. Send a voice note instead of a text. That unpredictability keeps people leaning in, wondering, what will they do next? Third, leave conversations open-ended. If someone asks to meet, reply with, "I'd love to, what time works?" Or when asked, "How are you?" say, "I've been on quite a journey lately. Let's catch up soon." You give just enough to spark interest, not the full story. They'll be left thinking, what journey? What's really going on? Here's a quick example. I used to overshare at networking events, listing every achievement. People nodded politely but didn't engage deeply. Then I shifted, mentioned one key success, then teased, "But there's one thing that changed my perspective recently. Maybe I'll share it next time." Suddenly, people leaned in, eager for more. Charismatic people keep others guessing, not for the sake of mystery, but strategically. Every word is a puzzle piece. The less complete the picture, the more compelling it becomes. If you want to live rent-free in people's minds, start revealing less, stay unpredictable, and leave them wanting more, because mystery isn't deception, it's space for curiosity. And curiosity? That's the spark that turns interest into obsession. Have you ever noticed how some people don't just enter your life, they set the bar for everyone else? They become the standard by which you measure everyone else's worth. That's no accident. It's a powerful position to hold, and today, I'm going to show you how to become that person, the one everyone compares others to, the one who leaves an unforgettable mark. First, it all starts with elevating yourself. Not just on the surface, but mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially. Imagine yourself as a complete package, someone who's calm and strong on the inside, confident in their body, emotionally balanced, and socially magnetic. This isn't about pretending to be perfect, it's about becoming the best version of you. When you invest in your growth, others naturally notice. They see someone who is constantly leveling up, and that raises your value in their eyes without you having to say a word. Next, think beyond just being a person. Become an experience. What does that mean? It means when people are around you, they don't just hear your words, they feel something unique and deep. Your energy should have highs and lows, moments of lightness mixed with depth. People remember how you made them feel more than what you actually said. You want to be emotionally varied, unpredictable in a way that intrigues them. Maybe you're the one who can make them laugh uncontrollably 1 minute, then share a profound insight the next. That emotional roller coaster creates memories that stick. Here's a little psychology for you, the peak end rule. This principle shows that people don't remember every single moment of an experience, they remember the peak emotional moments and how it ended. So here's the secret: always disappear at your peak. Don't linger until things get ordinary or dull. Leave when you're still shining bright, leaving them wanting more. Imagine leaving a party right when everyone's cheering your name, or ending a conversation right after you shared something meaningful but before it loses its impact. That peak ending becomes the emotional bookmark they replay in their mind. By doing this, you make yourself irreplaceable and unforgettable. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're the standard, the gold medal everyone else is chasing but can't quite reach. And when people start comparing others to you, that's when you've truly mastered the game. So, ask yourself, how can you level up today? How can you bring something fresh, deep, and exciting to your relationships? Because becoming their standard of excellence means showing up as your best self, and knowing exactly when to step back to let that glow shine the brightest. That's how you stay unforgettable. Here's the truth about ultimate power in any relationship: it lies in your ability to walk away and truly mean it, not as a threat, not as a game, but as a deep psychological signal that shakes the other person's mind. When you know your worth, you stop fearing permanent loss, because it's that permanent loss that triggers obsession in others. Most people fear walking away. They fear being left behind or ignored. But real power is in the confidence to walk away without begging, without chasing, without waiting to be seen or recognized. This action sends a silent but undeniable message: you can thrive, you can be happy, even if they're not in your life. That's the kind of power few truly understand. Once you master this mindset, you're no longer the chaser, others will naturally chase you. Because they sense you are valuable, irreplaceable. Your independence, your self-control makes you incredibly attractive. Nobody wants to lose something they think could disappear at any moment. Try it right now. Affirm yourself with statements like, I am the prize, I control the game, I am rare, I am unforgettable. Speaking these truths out loud reinforces your powerful mindset and radiates positive energy in your life. So remember this: the final power move is not pleading or explaining, it's walking away with absolute confidence. When you truly understand and apply this, the game changes in your favor, and that's when you become unstoppable.